So, safety versus risk in retirement, part 5, final reflections. So, what have I learned from reading these 3 books on income in retirement? I'm going to offer some summary reflections on the income retirement books I read this month, which, just to review, part 1 was like an introduction to this idea. Part 2 was Pensionize Your Nest Egg by Moshe Milevsky. Part 3, Retirement Portfolios by Michael Zwecker. Part 4, Redefining Retirement by Wade Pfau. And this is like a sum it all up. My point in reading and reviewing the books was to force myself to engage with a set of ideas I was pretty sure I disagreed with from the beginning. But in that disagreement, what could I learn to change my mind or to reinforce my priors? So here's some summary thoughts. Number 1, I like the framework used by Wade Pfau that retirees and their investment advisors can choose a safety-first approach or a probability-based approach. I am still probability-based in my outlook, but the disadvantages, I should acknowledge, of the probability-based is that there's still some chance, 5%, 10%, that the odds will not be in my favor. I could live too long in terrible markets and run out of money. Number 2, I should probably give stronger consideration to the idea in my own life and in giving advice to the idea that covering known lifestyle costs throughout late life is a pretty big deal. It's a worthwhile problem to solve. Number 3, many people in perfectly reasonable risk tolerance and personality reasons will accept a lower average standard of living in order to eliminate the even remote possibility of failure. And failure in this case, I would define as running out of money in late in life. Number 4, the classic Benjamin rule of 4% withdrawal rate for 30 years, we should remember, was invented as a no-fail rule. So even though it is too conservative, it was not built for 98% success. It was built for 100% success. As such, it introduces the big problem addressed by all the retirement income crowd of being way too conservative for investment portfolio draws, thus lowering lifestyle costs and also lowering lifestyle expenditures and also leaving too much money for legacy rather than lifestyle comfort for most people. Number 5 point. One potential reason some people are blind or indifferent to the value of income in retirement is that it matters a lot more to middle income and middle wealth people. The outliers, above and below, see much diminished benefits from creating a pension or carefully covering lifestyle costs. They either have plenty, no matter what, or not enough, no matter what. Number 6. The thing that bothers me most about these retirement income books is that they give insufficient attention to the following fact. A 3% and a 9% annual return on a nest egg over time might not seem at first like a very different result. One is a bigger single-digit return, but they appear kind of in range of each other. But in fact, 3% and 9% is a total world of difference. They are not, in fact, in range of each other. A 3% return, which is a roughly historic bond return in my lifetime, is a path to subsistence in retirement at best. It is, after taxes and inflation, a way to roughly preserve money once saved. A 9% return, which is again a roughly historic equity return in my lifetime, is a path to abundance in retirement. It is the way to escape both taxes and inflation and to possibly live well. When these books that I've reviewed ignore this math, the profound truth of compound interest, they do a terrible disservice to investors and investment advisors alike. Point number 7. To be specific about this difference between 3% and 9%, it's useful to use real numbers. A 30-year-old investing a $100,000 nest egg for 40 years at 3% ends up with $326,000 by age 70. A 30-year-old investing a $100,000 nest egg for 40 years at 9% ends up with $3.1 million at age 70. The percent difference is just a measly 6%, but the dollar difference in the end is 10x. This is the difference for the 70-year-old between subsistence and abundance in retirement. The results obviously scale much higher for larger amounts and earlier investing. The lessons of these books, I am fairly convinced, will leave retirees at subsistence, while the insurance companies selling the products retain all the upside. Finally, number 8, I continue to think a probability-based retirement based on brokerage products is the path to abundance for middle-class people. The safety-first approach is largely the path to subsistence. So which book do I like best? I for sure do not recommend the Zwecker book. I for sure do not recommend the Milewski book. In a limited way, mostly for investment advisors, I recommend the Pfau book. I think it guides people to the wrong big idea, safety first, but at least it does so in a mathematically sound way. If there's a book that you read that helped you think more clearly about your own retirement, drop me a note in the comments. I'll read it and review it, unless I already have in my bankersanonymous.com website.